And now it's time for Coach's Comments, presented by Southside Auto Tech. Cristiano Simnetta with you, alongside Stars head coach and GM Cody Chupp. Cody, your team wins 8-5 over the TriCity Storm, a rivalry between these two teams that you haven't seen in this year's regular season. What did you think of the intensity overall of this 13-goal game?
I think I liked our game in the first two periods. In the third period, thankfully we'd built up enough of a lead where when the emotion got the best of us and took us off our game, which it did, we had enough of a cushion to where we were able to regain our composure and get back to work and get back to a 5-on-5 game eventually. And so, yeah, I'm frustrated with our third period, and it has nothing to do with the officials. It has nothing to do with what they did. I'm frustrated with the third period and how we responded to what we knew was going to happen. The only way a team can come back in a situation like that is if it turns into a special teams, a little bit of a gong show where emotions run high and, we allow it to take us out of our game, because our game to that point had been very effective. So, obviously we're thrilled with the win, but that's an area that we need to improve on.
And also the starts. It's a goal 131 in, and the difference was tonight is that the full intensity, the ability to just play defensively responsibly like you did in Sioux City in the early part of that game, and then when it comes to a guy like Robbie McCollum getting his first ever goal in the USHL in his second game, but you guys kept building, you kept layering that lead like you mentioned. What did you see from your team in that moment after the goal was scored by TriCity to open the scoring, and then you completely obliterated them in the first two periods after that?
Yeah, I think we saw, and let me start by saying that they obviously, I thought their first goalie and probably the second, they're going to have a better night no matter who's in net tomorrow. One of those two is going to have a better night than they had tonight. But what I liked about our game is that hunger for the next one, without thinking, okay, it's point night, we're just going to run the score up and we can do whatever we want and we're going to score. We stayed locked in, which allowed us to build on our lead because we were doing things right, which meant we were responsible in our own end. We were simple in our transition game. We took what the game gave us at the offensive blue line, which allowed us to prolong offensive zone shifts, prolong scoring chances, or create second scoring chances for ourselves. So I really liked our game. I thought it was a good glimpse of our capability when we stay focused on the way that we do things as a group, and that to me is the biggest difference in tonight through two periods. We didn't go off the rails because we thought we could, maybe score a goal that was prettier, or some guys thought all of a sudden I'm going to do whatever I want and score. We stuck to the program, we stuck to the plan, and it rewarded us. And then, obviously in the third period, I mentioned my thoughts.
A guy who always sticks to the program is Christian Sarlo. He's got 7 points over his last two games. How important is he to your club right now, from not only on the ice with his production, but off the ice with his leadership?
He's extremely important, and what I love about Christian is his consistency and who he is and how he goes about his business on a day-to-day basis. And, I think that's, I know I've mentioned it before, but that's what junior hockey is about, is finding that consistency. He's in that aspect mature beyond his years. He's a world-class kid that truly cares about his own development and cares about the success of our team. And, that shows not just on the weekends where he's getting rewarded for that work that he puts in, but every day is really the big component. And, he's an everyday guy.
So other than the improved goaltending you expect from TriCity tomorrow afternoon, what do you think their game plan will be to try and deviate away from what they did tonight, which was, like you said, the power play goals were there, but from an even strength game? What can TriCity do tomorrow, and what are you going to try to stop them from accomplishing 205 tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, they play well in transition, and they're opportunistic in transition. So, for us, it's about limiting those transition opportunities for them. And I think that's probably where my frustration in the third period stems from. Instead of really putting the pedal down and putting this game away in convincing fashion by stifling their offense, we allowed them a glimmer of hope. And obviously that came through, an extended 5-on-3, some other power play opportunities. But it's something that we did to ourselves, and that to me is where we have to improve. And for us, we got to be the same group tomorrow that's hungry for the next one by doing things right. And if we stay locked in on our game, we'll be fine. I expect them to come out with a really strong push to start the game. And like I said, they're opportunistic. They have the ability to score. We saw it tonight. We got to limit their chances, and especially those second chance opportunities around the net front.
Thank you so much for doing this, Cody. That was Coach's comments presented by Southside Auto Tech. Stars win 8-5 over the TriCity Storm. These two teams will match up tomorrow afternoon, 2:05 p.m. puck drop at the Icebox. We'll see you then.